Hello Aquarius, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your bonus reading, guys. So thank you so very much for your love and support this first half of September. You guys came in, I believe, fourth most viewed video for the first half of the month. So thank you so much again. This is your bonus reading, as I had mentioned. This time around, I wanted to focus on ex partnerships. So more than likely somebody that you have not heard from in a while, in separation. There's this distance between the two of you, either no communication or very little communication. All right, Aquarius, this is a general reading and it's not going to resonate, however, with every single person. So please do take from it whatever makes sense for you and release the rest. And if you're interested in a private reading, I do offer that. All of that information is down below in the description box. And I will also have a list of all of the card decks that I do use for my readings. All right, guys? So let's get started. So this first deck, if you guys did watch the ones from the first half of the month, this deck is something that I just received. It's called What the Fuck is the Problem? It's by Waite Tarot. It gets right to the point and really gets down to the nitty gritty of what is the problem in regard to a situation or relationship. So since we're tapping into the energies of an ex-partnership, Aquarius, let's take a look and see if it'll tap into part of the reason why there was the destruction of the relationship, why it ended up falling apart, why you guys are in separation, why there is no communication or very little communication. All right, let's fan this out, Aquarius, and let's take a look and see what I can grab for you guys. It says, you're blowing shit up for no goddamn reason. That's an interesting message coming through for Aquarius. You're blowing shit up for no goddamn reason. All right, let's grab one more. You need a dose of man the fuck up. Oh, wow. I've never gotten these messages come through in a reading before, but they're coming through here for this bonus reading, Aquarius. So let's take a look and see how that all plays itself out. But certainly those are focused messages that needed to come through for this X-related reading for some of you guys. So you're blowing shit up for no goddamn reason. Maybe you overreacted to something in regard to your relationship, and you need a dose of man the fuck up. This could either be tapping into your own energies, Aquarius, or your ex. All right, so let's get started. Let's tap into the Twin Flame Shadows deck by Angela from Mystic Moon. You, of course, don't have to identify with a twin flame connection. That's just the name of the card deck. I particularly like this deck for ex-partnership readings, especially because it delves into the shadows, what is being hidden, what is part of the darker aspects of a connection. You know, these are aspects of the connection, the relationship, that you more than likely are not aware of. And if you are, then it's certainly tapping into what continues to be beneath the surface, what continues to be in the shadows of the connection. So angels and spirit guides for Aquarius in regard to an ex-partnership for Aquarius. What do we need to know? Silenced. This could either be your own energies, Aquarius, or your ex. So no communication. Or as I had mentioned, if you're hearing from your ex at all, it's just not productive conversation, or it continues to be hurtful conversation to where you just don't want to speak, you don't want to talk, somebody doesn't want to talk here. Or it could be mutual, where you both have been silenced by the separation and distance here. Okay, let's see what else. What else, please, for Aquarius and the ex-partner here? Angels and spirit guides, please bring it forward. What else is in the shadows of this connection? We do have projecting energy here. We also have somebody who's coming forward with very insecure energies. If you happen to be a divine feminine, perhaps you're feeling very insecure about how things ended between you and your ex, you know, or as a result of the distance and separation here, you're feeling insecure because possibly you might be wanting to talk to your ex or reconnect with them, or if you just didn't have the proper closure in the connection and that made you feel very insecure. That could also come through if your ex was constantly degrading you or insulting you, making you feel insecure about your role in the connection or how things eventually ended between the two of you. Part of that projecting energy too is to devise something in your mind or to plan or figure or estimate for the future, to display outwardly to people how it is that you're potentially feeling when inside you might be just feeling the opposite way. So it's right next to insecure. So perhaps externally you're trying to portray yourself to be very confident and that you've got your act together and that everything's fine with you. But internally you might be feeling very insecure. It's part of what it is that you are projecting out into the world towards those that you interact with. Okay? And look at this energy. This is the next card. Vengeful. Tapping into divine feminine, not divine masculine, divine feminine energy typically. But of course, for some of you, it could be divine masculine. It doesn't really have to be so gender specific, but typically I tap into divine feminine energy with that. And I mean, look at that photo. We have a pissed off divine feminine here, feeling very vengeful. So some of you guys, especially if you're divine feminine Aquarius, your ex might have really upset you to the point where, you would like bash the windows in his car or his house, whatever, just that pissed off feeling to where you're just coming through with that vengeful energy. Let's grab one more here. Because what I'm feeling here, more than likely, you guys are not talking or there is no interest to talk to each other because things ended just really badly. Secondary energy. Again, I'm tapping into divine feminine energy here. 4 cards really with that divine feminine energy, and I have one with that projecting vibration where I do tap into divine masculine there. So more than likely my divine feminines are the ones that are really hurting, really upset, not happy. Part of that secondary energy is that your ex may have made you feel like you were second, that you didn't matter, that you were an afterthought, you were not their priority, made you feel less than who you were, okay? Made you feel small. So let's add to this with some tarot, Aquarius. So let's take a look and see what else needs to come through here. Let's see what else needs to come through. So angels and spirit guides for Aquarius in regards to this ex partnership. What else do we need to know here? What else? And, part of the energies of you need a dose of man the fuck up. I'm tapping into divine masculine energy there, where somebody just did not rise to the occasion. They just were not the type of person or partner that you were deserving of, Aquarius, And some of you guys may have overreacted to a situation too, I'm feeling. 8 of Pentacles is coming through here. Some of you guys are dealing with an earth sign. Okay, so Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Part of the energy of that 8 of Pentacles is that there are changes that are happening in this relationship. And part of that change, of course, is that you guys ended up going your separate ways. You ended up breaking up. There's the separation and distance between you and this person. But part of the energies of that 8 of Pentacles is that there's passion here. And that somebody has very high standards for themselves. Somebody who's very diligent. Perhaps, Aquarius, you had a lot of passion for your ex. And they ended up hurting you really badly. What else, please, for Aquarius, angels and spirit guides? Aquarius and an ex partnership. We have the King of Pentacles coming through here now. So more earth energy. And we have the Sun. Beautiful. Let's add to this. Let's grab a couple more. We have the Eight of Wands coming through now. So some of you guys might be thinking of a fire sign here. So Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Look at this bottom card. We do have the Four of Swords. So we have earth energy with the pentacles. We've got fire energy, and now we've got air energy. So it really depends on who your ex is and what sign they happen to be coming through with, Aquarius, okay? Part of that Four of Swords energy is recuperation, passivity, and rest. Trying to regain stability in your life because they've hurt you so much. Part of the energy of the King of Pentacles is somebody who is an authority figure, very disciplined, very controlling though. Okay? So some of you guys might have an ex who was very controlling with you. And part of that silenced energy is maybe they didn't like to be interrupted, or they didn't want you talking too much, making some of my divine feminines feel very insecure. You know, like you were, again, an afterthought, or that you were not the priority in your divine masculine's life. But we do have the Sun coming through here, guys. That's a beautiful message coming through there from the Sun. And part of the Sun's energy is tapping into fire energy once again. So Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So the Sun, success, joy, happiness. I love how it is falling right below insecure, because this is somebody who is not joyful. This is somebody who is not happy. The Sun is the most positive card in tarot, guys, and it's here for you. If your ex ever made you feel less than, made you feel small, made you feel insecure, put you into this headspace of feeling vengeful because they either didn't give you what it was that you needed in the relationship, or made you feel like an afterthought. Once again, I can't help but keep tapping into that, like you didn't matter. Some of you guys may have had to deal with a third-party situation as well. And your ex might have made you feel that they weren't attracted to you any longer, or that you weren't good enough. That type of energy. But, you know, the Sun is new birth and tapping into your inner child. It's also growth in your life, a renewal of life. Where there was no optimism before in regard to the situation, there is now. You know, finally, you can see that little glimmer of hope through the enthusiasm that the Sun card brings. It is promised prosperity and bliss in your life, Aquarius. This is also putting you towards a path of being very highly magnetic towards the opposite sex, guys, especially if you have chosen to move on away from your ex and you're not interested in any sort of reconciliation. With this Sun card, this is making you very magnetically attractive to the opposite sex. So I do feel that ultimately you're not going to be single for long. You know, this taps into pleasure as well. What brings you pleasure? What will bring you contentment in your life? What was once in the dark, if your ex had brought forward this dark cloud over the connection, over your life, this is now coming forward with illumination, taking things out of the darkness and finally bringing light and happiness back in your life, Aquarius. Interestingly enough, the Sun taps into the energies of marriages and unions. So perhaps, Aquarius, once you move on and heal from this connection with your ex, there is a marriage, the type of relationship that you are deserving of, true love that wants to come in for you. A future marriage is in store for some of you guys. So that's beautiful. You know, that's a really nice card coming through. With that Eight of Wands, there's movement. There is movement that's going to be coming in to your life, Aquarius. Perhaps you feel as though your ex hurt you so badly that it just stopped everything from moving or progressing forward in your life, because they just hurt you so badly that you just didn't want to engage in going after your goals and dreams or whatever is important to you. And it makes sense how we do have that Four of Swords energy right next to that, because after going through something so devastating with a person that you invested so much of your heart towards, you need a break. You need to have time for recuperation. Having endured something so painful, and cutting people out of your life that no longer deserve to be there, that takes time to heal from. It absolutely takes time to heal from that type of experience. But this is what's going to restore you. Okay? So let's add to this, guys, with some romance. Angels' messages. You will make it through this. You will make it through. If you have lost your voice, if you have lost your identity in this connection, you will find it once again. What else, please, for Aquarius? Yeah, see that? We've got separation. Yeah. And I do feel, for the majority of you, that this is resonating with, guys. You're not interested in getting back together with your ex. That relationship has run its course. Anyone that ever made you feel secondary, or that you were not the primary focus in the relationship, does not deserve to be in your life. And so I do feel, for some of you, especially my divine feminines, you did come to that realization and put yourself first finally. Cut them out of your life. And yeah, it was painful. Made you feel very insecure. Some of you guys, yeah, with that vengeful energy, you were pissed off. And look at this bottom card. We do have finances and career. So if money has been tight for you, Aquarius, before, I do feel ultimately things are going to improve and get better. I love this card, actually. This next card coming forward is Let Your Friends Help You. If you look at the photo, it's a bride getting ready for her wedding day. Ask for and accept support from others. So for some of you guys, once you start moving forward and claiming a different path for yourself, finding a different future for yourself by way of a new relationship, a different path for yourself, I do see that you will make a really great love connection moving forward, because I do see marriages here and unions that are coming in for you. It's interesting. Look at the card after that. We do have reconciliation. Okay? So for some of you, and I feel a small group of you, you would welcome in a reconciliation with your ex. But they have to definitely do some work on themselves and come back towards you as a better person. Because if they don't, despite the second chance that some of you guys may have with this person, you have the ability to cut them right out of your life once again. Look at those pictures. She means business. The ability to definitely get rid of someone from your life that you don't want in your life any longer. So for those of you guys who will have the chance to reconcile with an ex, they better do right by you this time around, or I feel for my Aquariuses that you're really not going to be putting up with a whole bunch of their shit. I feel that you've really had enough of that. And what you're looking for is so much better than what they had offered you before. And if they can't make you their priority this time around, then it's a no-go, Move on. All right, so let's add to this with some additional conversation. So let's start off with the Twin Flame Messages Volume 2, once again by Angela from Mystic Moon. You don't have to identify with the Twin Flame connection. That's just the name of the card deck, guys, okay? So I'm not going to label these cards by tapping into a specific gender here. It's not so gender specific. It's not just for the Divine Feminine, and it's not just for the Divine Masculine. Whoever is resonating with these messages that are coming through for this reading. All right, Aquarius? So let's see if it's you, if this is tapping into words and thoughts and feelings that you've been wanting to express, or it could be your ex. So let's take a look at that. So angels and spirit guides for Aquarius and this ex partnership. Who needs to speak up here? Who needs to speak up here? What words need to be expressed here? I know it might be too late by the time I figure things out. Okay, so for some of you guys, you have an ex who's trying to figure things out on their own, you know, and trying to see if a reconciliation can actually be possible here. But they do realize that it's taking them a bit longer than they realized to get things in order in their head and their heart, and it might just be too late by the time they approach you wanting to start talking again and talking about getting back together. Look at this card right after that. The thought of you still does things to me. This could certainly be how you feel as well about your ex, Aquarius, for some of you guys, but I'm really tapping more so into an ex energy here, that the thought of you still does things to them. The card after that, we do have an apology. I'm sorry, I couldn't follow through with my promises. So they are acknowledging that they messed up here. They didn't keep their promises to you. And for those of you who are in separation with your ex, some of you guys, they're trying to figure things out to potentially bring forward a reconciliation here. Okay, so let's add to the conversation with some unspoken messages from Volume 2 by Waite Tarot. What else, please, needs to be expressed here between Aquarius and an ex? Who needs to speak up here? What additional messages need to come through at this time, angels and spirit guides, for Aquarius and an ex-partner? Who else needs to speak up here? What does this say? I find it difficult to press send in my emails to you. So they've been drafted. Okay. So this person, your ex, has tried or thought about reaching out to you. It could come either in the form of an email or a text, but they didn't send it. Okay. So that's probably out of fear or uncertainty, that they just went through the motions of composing this message to you and ended up not sending it to you because they're probably afraid of how you would react to it. There's that element of uncertainty there. But look at this bottom card. Look at this bottom message. Very interesting. It says, Spirit is working on me to be at my best for you. They're working on themselves, Aquarius. The question is it good enough? You know, is it good enough for you? Will it make you happy enough? The changes that they've made on themselves, do they deserve to come back into your life? For some of you guys, I feel that you've moved on and that you're not interested. I'm hearing the words remain friends. So perhaps some of you guys would prefer to remain friends and no longer be attached to this person in a romantic sense, you know? So since I did this for all the other signs, I'm going to tap into the energies of this particular card deck for you guys as well. This is Between the Sheets by Waite Tarot once again. This is very sexual in nature, so this will delve into your physical connection with your ex, Aquarius. This might be how you are remembering the connection, how they are remembering it, tapping into the energies and vibrations of how you guys connected intimately. So let's take a look at that. So from a physical standpoint, perhaps these are still thoughts that your ex might be having at this time. Interesting. Whip appeal. It's coming through for some of you guys. Perhaps you guys were into that when you guys were together. And they might be remembering those times when you guys were having sex. Tapping into that whip appeal. Interesting. This says, earned it. You know, they may have needed to earn their time with you. You know, I do feel, though, that with that secondary energy, they just did not deserve to have you, even sexually, you know? What else, please, for Aquarius? What else was between the sheets, between Aquarius and the ex? You trigger me in such a sexual way. You are so irresistible. And rough sex coming through. Look at this bottom card. Until the sun comes up. Very strategic way of spelling that. So, yeah. Like, if any of this resonates with you, and if this is how you guys connected sexually, they still remember that. It still triggers them. You know, no doubt about it. Physically, you guys are very sexually attracted to each other, I feel. They still see you as very irresistible, very difficult for them to resist you from that sexual standpoint. But I do feel that there were aspects of the connection, Aquarius, that were just very challenging, especially those of you guys who had to deal with a third party, I'm feeling, and a partner who just did not put you on their priority list outside of the bedroom. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's coming through here for you guys in regard to that sexual type energy, that sexual connection. All right, guys, so let's add to this with some Infinity Oracle, once again from Fire Witch Tarot. Angels and spirit guides for Aquarius. What else do we need to know, please, in regard to Aquarius and an ex-partner? What else do we need to know, please? What else needs to come through here for Aquarius for this reading? For this bonus reading, please bring it forward for Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, what else do we need to know for Aquarius and an ex-partner? Interesting. Violin energy, which taps into playing the victim. Perhaps that's how your ex felt, Aquarius, that you were just playing the victim here. That could certainly be reversed. Okay, that's how you might feel about them. Let's grab another one. Spending quality time. If you're feeling nostalgic, Aquarius, about when you guys did spend time together and things were actually good, you know, you guys might be feeling nostalgic about that in separate occasions, but it's coming through here that it's still very much a part of your heart space. Let's grab one more. Because I do feel here, Aquarius, that you really had a lot of love for your ex. And I do feel that they did have love for you as well, but their energies are scattered. Especially if there, again, were third-party involvements here. You know, part of that Four of Swords is somebody who's tired and just needs a break from the situation, embracing the light. I love that. You know, to me, that taps into very similar energies as the sun. It is absolutely the most positive card in tarot, as I had mentioned. And for those of you guys who are in this dark place as a result of what happened between you and your ex, finally, this is what the future has in store for you. Okay? Things are ultimately going to get better for you. Whether you reconcile with your ex or not, or whether you decide to stay single for a bit, okay, or welcome in new love if you haven't already. Okay, so let's add to this, guys, with some Lover's Oracle. Whoa, there we are. That flew right out. And let me grab this bottom card here. We've got surrender coming through. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. So this is confirmation for some of you guys that you need to release your ex if you haven't already. You know, perhaps for some of you guys, there is this expectation or this hope that you guys will get back together. And certainly that's a possibility because we do have the reconciliation card here. But not all reconciliations are good reconciliations. So, you know, this is tapping into a sexual energy. But, you know, for me, the message is very clear. They have to earn their place in your life, Aquarius. They can't just be coming up in there and just picking up where they left off. They have to deserve to come back into your life. And going back to this message, I know it might be too late by the time I figure things out. You know, there is a particular window of opportunity here for them to get their life back in order and for them to want to reach out to you if what they're wanting to manifest is a second chance with you. So let go and all will work out the way it's meant to. And the way it's meant to does not always include the ex coming back. Sometimes the way it's meant to work out is that you find new love or that you move on beyond this relationship and you learn from it and you gain wisdom from it. And when the universe is ready to give it to you, then you'll find new love once again. It's part of your journey. It's part of your healing process. And some of you guys are just not ready for that, you know. Four of Swords, taking the time to rest and recuperate from something so painful. And then we've got playfulness coming through. This card reads, laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together. And remember, love is the greatest healer. So some of you will have the opportunity once again to reconcile. And things aren't going to be so serious. You guys can actually have fun with each other once again. And for some of you, this is a part of new energy, a new connection, a new relationship that is going to interject a level of fun back into your life. Because I do feel that your ex just took all the fun out of your heart when they hurt you. They broke your heart. Okay? All right, let's move on, guys. Let's grab some healing messages from the angels. So angels and spirit guides for Aquarius, please. Please bring forward some healing messages for Aquarius in regard to this reading regarding the ex. Some healing messages, please. Some healing messages for Aquarius, please. I'm going to grab this bottom card. Divine guidance. You are being divinely guided at this time, Aquarius. Okay, so trust in the process of where you're at in your life at the moment. And things might not be progressing as quickly as you're wanting them to. It's a time for you to have patience and to just pay attention to the direction that your life is ultimately going. You know, sometimes it's not so blatantly clear where we're meant to be. And if it's not clear as of yet, then you haven't fully given yourself time to recuperate. That's part of that Four of Swords energy. So give yourself a little bit more time to be able to process everything that's happened. Part of this listening energy too that will offer you healing is listening to your intuition, certainly your faith, the angels, a higher power, your guardian angel, friends, family that have your back, that would be there for you at any given time. If you're being offered advice at this time, perhaps there are really insightful lessons that you can learn from that advice. Okay, so angels are coming through to let you know that you have to listen. Get rid of the clutter and the chaos and the noise in your mind, in your heart, and just listen. And that's what's going to help you to let go. It's going to help you move forward. It's going to help you to heal. All right. So let's move on from that. Let's grab a message from the Energy Oracle cards deck. This is by Sandra Ann Taylor, a brand new deck for me. So I will probably read from the book because it's got some pretty amazing, insightful messages there. So angels and spirit guides for Aquarius, please. What additional messages need to come through, especially in regard to an ex-partnership? What else needs to come through here for Aquarius, please? Angels and spirit guides. Attachment. Let's see. Perhaps part of the reason why this is coming through is because you might still be energetically and vibrationally attached to your ex, Aquarius. Okay? So let me read from the book. This particular card reads, perceived need and the choice to let go. In the upright position, this card reveals that your passage forward is being stopped by strong attachments to old patterns or people from the past. The chain at your wrist is bolted to fear from the past or desperation about the future. Although you may wear the mask of pretense or even contentment, you simply can't seem to go forward. The stuff that's keeping you stuck could be physical addictions, emotional patterns, or even old relationships. Are you living in fear, addicted to old unhealthy habits, or so desperate about the future that you can't be happy now? If so, the chains that bind you could be of your own making. This card is telling you that it's time to take the action you need to break out of your chains and move forward to an open, free, healthy, and authentically happy life. It may take some courage and effort to let go, but know that you are capable of doing it. Until you do, the difficult energy will just repeat itself, keeping you stuck. Holy crap. Man, that's on point. That is so on point for this reading. It's time to let go. Some of you guys, it's time to let go. I know it's hard, but it's time, okay? So definitely heed the advice of this particular message. All right, guys. So let's grab some final messages and some final thoughts from the guardian angels to close out this reading for you, Aquarius. So angels and spirit guides, some final thoughts, please, for Aquarius in regard to this ex-partnership. Let me grab this bottom card here. We do have expression coming through for you, Aquarius. Express how you feel, clearly, lovingly, and honestly, without fear or judgment. Say it exactly like it is. All will be resolved when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing. You know, it's so interesting because one of the cards that came through is silenced. Total opposite energy from expression. And I do feel in the relationship with your ex, For some of you, you were not given the opportunity to fully express what was in your heart. You were not given the opportunity to express your truth, especially if somebody made you feel like you didn't matter, like you were a secondary afterthought. Okay? Self-expression is liberating and healing, and I do feel that if you haven't already, Aquarius, it's time. Okay? And we also have encouragement coming through. Your love is invaluable to the earth and to those around you. Even though you may not always see the positive effect your love has on others, trust, for it does. Each time you offer love through a loving gesture, thought, or word, you plant a seed of love. And love always generates more love. Trust and continue your loving work. This is a part of your healing process, Aquarius. And I do feel that you were able to extend love to this person, your ex, but I do feel that it was also unappreciated, and they didn't see the full value of what it was that was in your heart, what it was that you offered and brought to the table in regard to this connection. And they're coming through with a little bit of regret here. You know, I know it might be too late by the time I figure things out. They're trying to work on themselves, trying to be the best for you. But I do feel for some of my Aquarians that you're done. You want to move on. This is a time of recuperation and rest for you in order to find happiness elsewhere. And that's something you are certainly very deserving of. For some of you, of course, there is a possibility of reconciliation. And you need to make sure that your person, your ex, has done the work on themselves to be able to deserve their place in your heart, in your life, once again. All right, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave this reading. I hope that whoever this resonated with, that it truly offered you some valuable insight as to what's happening with your ex. If you are interested in a personal private reading, all of that information, guys, is down below in the description box. And I will be back very soon with more readings for you, Aquarius. Thank you so very much for tuning in, for all of your love and support, and for coming in forth as one of the most viewed videos for the first half of September. I appreciate it so very much. All right, guys, so thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.